Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another Makers with Heart collaborative video. This month, the Makers with Heart are featuring their favorite pattern from Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. And we also have a guest collaborator, Mel from Mel's Stampin' Gallery. So I will leave a playlist at the end of this video and make sure you check out her video and all the other Makers with Heart videos. Okay, let's get started. I have chosen pattern number 18 from Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. And this is the pattern, and you can pack a lot of pictures onto this double page spread. Okay, so I'm going to take this pattern and I'm going to flip it over, just like on the bottom right-hand corner, the example that's given. Okay. All right, so the papers that I'm going to use are from memorylane, and stamp sets are from HomesweethHome and Hello Darlin', and then these are the memorylane stamps, but I wind up not using those. So the pictures that I'm going to scrapbook are of the house that we found to buy in Middle Tennessee. So this is the day that we signed papers and some pictures of the inside of the house. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start with a base of sage. This is the light side of sage. I'm using a navy blue journaling pen, and I'm just going to draw some lines to create a frame around the edge. So it's kind of doodling, kind of not, because I'm using my T-square ruler, but I want to get a straighter line than a doodle. But it's still not perfect, as you see. So, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. So I'm just drawing a little frame around, and I'm going to create, I'm just doing it around 3 sides. So I'm going to create a double page spread, and when they're butted up together, it'll look like 12 by 24. So we'll go ahead and do that to the right side as well. And then we have our base. Okay, so I'm going to bring in all of the cut papers from memorylane. So all the supplies that I'm using, while they're not in the current catalog, they are still available on my website. So I'll make a list with all the links with all the supplies that I'm using in the description below. So you can still get all of these supplies, including the stamp sets and the thin cuts. So I'm just bringing in various patterned papers from memorylane, and I've cut them according to the pattern. This is a zip strip from the collection. And then I've got mats cut. These are in sapphire, and then the other mats are in white daisy. So instead of doing a second 4x6 portrait style vertical photo, I'm going to put a stamped image in that space. Okay, so now for my title. At first I thought I was going to go ahead and use the Home Sweet Home that's part of the Home Sweet Home collection. So I'm just laying the stamps out, and I just felt like it was too small. So that's why I pulled the Hello Darlin' set, because it has a larger Home Sweet Home that I can stamp for my title. I think that's going to work better. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that stamped out. So I'm sliding the carrier sheet or the foam sheet that comes with the stamp set under my base page, figuring out the placement of that 4x6 photo. And I'm going to stamp directly to my layout. And I know it's a little bit scary. I still, after years of doing this, I still think it's a little scary to stamp directly to your base page, but that's okay. I'm just going to make it work. So I'm just eyeballing it. You could measure and get a precise centering of the title, but I'm just eyeballing it and stamping down. So I'm stamping in sapphire ink and just kind of figuring out where to place it. I think it's going to work. So we'll do Home Sweet Home. Okay, so now we'll stamp the home again. And we're going to call it good. Okay, So looking at the Home Sweet Home, I like the hearts in the center of the O. So I'm going to highlight them by stamping just that O onto the same yellow patterned paper. Okay, and then I'm going to fussy cut the little hearts out. Okay, so we'll cut those out, and then I'm going to paper piece them on top of the O that's stamped down on the layout. So it pops a little bit more with that pattern paper that matches the mat that's for the picture above it. Okay, so we'll get those glued down. So I have various pictures. Some of them are while they were still working on the house, so the floors aren't completely polished. But it was a really pretty house that we lived in for a couple years in Tennessee. And I had a beautiful craft room. There's a smaller picture. I had them put the wood floors in it so that I could use my work box from the craft box furniture in it. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp out this large house on white daisy with black ink, and it comes with a coordinating die. And that will be my element that's going on the right page. Okay, so I'm going to die cut that. And then I have some of the patterned papers that are from memorylane. And these images are treetops. So I'm going to cut them out with the patterned paper. And then the tree trunks I'm going to cut with toffee cardstock. So we'll get everything die cut. And then I'm cutting 2 extra pieces of white cardstock to layer up that house, so it looks like a chipboard piece. And then we'll piece together the trees. And I'll run that same tree trunk die through a second time to get another tree trunk. Okay, so now we have all of the elements that are going to go on this right page. And I'm going to start gluing everything together. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to see what my dog's barking about, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got everything almost all adhered. I put down all those strips of paper, and then we'll go ahead and start laying down the photos. These are mounted on white daisy. And then I have popped this picture of our house with foam tape. So we'll get that down. And then the strip of sapphire cardstock below the photo, I'll adhere that with some wet glue. We'll get that down. So the dog was just barking at the neighbors. They're out working on their yard. And she was lonely, so it's all good now. All right, so we'll get that strip down. And we'll call that side good. Okay, so this house picture or die cut is going to go on the right side. And then I've pulled some stickers from the sticker sheet from memorylane, and I like to cut them from the carrier sheet so that I can kind of move them around before I commit to sticking them down. And I've done just a tiny bit of journaling and put the date on one of them. So I'm going to stick those stickers down, kind of create a little cluster above the photo of our house. Okay. Make sure it's straight. All right. And then I'm going to color in that house. I'm going to do that off camera, and I'm going to color them in with tri-blend markers. Okay, so that's good to go. And then we have the trees that I die cut. And for one of the tree trunks, I'm going to do a little surgery on it. So I'm going to cut off some of the branches, and I'm going to make it shorter. So just taking my micro tip scissors and trimming that off. Sorry, it's off camera here. Just cutting some of the branches and making it shorter. Okay, and then we'll start gluing everything together, and we'll go ahead and adhere everything to my layout. And then I'm going to add some of these acrylic shapes. These are the white acrylic shapes, and I've emptied the bag over on the right side of my desk. You can't see it there, but I'm picking all the different shapes that I want to use from that pile. So I have some flowers and some leaves, and I'm just going to kind of scatter some of them around with the different patterns going on with this layout and all the photos. I don't want to put a ton of embellishments, so I'm going to try to keep it clean, and I'm just going to use these white embellishments and scatter them around. And you can attach those to your layout with glue dots. Okay, and then I'll use this last acrylic piece that looks like a camera. And we'll place that down. Okay. And then I'll have some close-up shots in a second. And before I took the main pictures, close-ups, I did add an additional sticker from the sticker sheet, and you'll see that in the photos. So there's my finished layout. So I'll make a list of all the supplies with links in the description below. And also be sure to check out the playlist of all the Makers with Heart videos. I believe I'm last in the line to go, so all the videos should be up. And you can look at all the other cool projects that everyone's made with their favorite patterns from Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.